Working from home is some people's dream, but it can actually be very difficult. So in this video, I'm gonna give you 4 tips on how to be super productive when working at home. If you've been forced to work at home recently, or maybe you've been working at home for a while, but you just want some tips on how to do it more productively, hit that like button and let's get into it. I've been working at home for years, and even when I was a full-time employee, I tried to not be at the office as much as possible. And this was for a couple reasons. The first reason is the commute to the office, even though it was 20 minutes each way, not a horrible commute, but that 40 minutes a day could have been used towards so many other things. For me, that 40 minutes was a complete waste of time. From a younger age, I understood the concept of how time is more valuable than money. So the commute was just not happening. The second reason is when I work in an office with other people around me, I do not get anything done. And this is especially if I'm managing a team. Managing a team can be done remotely, and it's actually a better way to manage a team. Because if you're physically with the team, they feel more comfortable asking you for random things that if you were not there, they would think twice about, do I really need to ask them for this information? But if you're right in front of them, they don't really think twice. You're right there, so they just ask you. And that constant interruption just kills your productivity. We would have a great time together, and I would tell them, I love you guys, but I don't get anything done when I'm here. And then I would go home. And that's when the real work would get done. My goal has always been to work less and make more money, like a lot of you. So from a long time ago, the preferred jobs that I would take on were either part-time or freelancer or independent contractor, which innately gave me the freedom to not be at an office all the time, or sometimes at all. It's just not something that my personality was ever suited to do. So going along that path, that's always been my mindset. And it's very difficult for me to find value in a long commute. When I did have to go into the office, I would use that commute productively. I would actually make phone calls to clients the entire way. Is it as productive as being in front of your laptop so you can pull up information or check email? No, but I'm all about productivity and knowing that time is more valuable than money. So I'm gonna share with you 4 very simple tips that you can do working from home to make you incredibly productive. Whether you've been working at home or whether you've been forced to work at home recently, these tips will help you. If this sounds good to you so far, hit that like button. Tip number 1, have a designated workspace. This is very important because I see a lot of people will take out their laptop and just sit on the couch, and then they will turn on the TV and they'll work and watch TV at the same time, or they'll put their laptop on the dining room table and it will stay there all day. This is actually very, very counterproductive. If you have a designated space to work, then your mind only goes to work when you're in that space. If you bring your laptop and your work stuff everywhere in your house, then your entire house becomes an office. And that is incredibly bad for your psyche. That's incredibly bad for your mindset, because your mind starts getting confused between what is business and what is personal. And it's just not healthy. You need a designated space to work in. And ideally, if you can have that space be a separate space from the rest of the house. So if you have an office, that would be perfect. If not, use an extra room that you have. If you don't have those luxuries, then use your dining room table, use your kitchen counter, but do not leave your work stuff there all day. you need to have an end time, and I'll get into that. But the other tip on having a workspace is under no circumstances do you bring your work into the bedroom. That is very bad for your relaxation and for your brain. When you go to sleep at night, or when you try to sleep at night, your brain associates your bedroom with your work, simply because you were working in there at some point. So don't attempt to have your work in there. Don't attempt to set up your office in your bedroom. Even if you have a studio apartment, create a little section somehow where your office is separate from your bedroom, from everything else. The second tip is have designated working times. Just like if you were to go into an office and you were to work 9 to 5, you need to have a schedule when you're working at home. It's going to do so much for you mentally, and it's going to keep you on track. Now, the thing is with this, you actually need to schedule not only your work, but everything else as well. So you need to schedule your breaks, your lunch, your time with your kids if you have kids, your time with your spouse, if you need to run errands. This all needs to be scheduled. Your schedule is incredibly important if you work at home. In your schedule, make sure that in the morning you do something for your morning routine. I'm not going to get into what your morning routine should be. For everybody it's different, but it should not be work. The first thing that you do when you wake up should absolutely not be working. Do whatever it is that you need to do in the morning. Do your meditation or get your mind right, change your clothes. You don't have to get all dolled up. You don't have to, get in business clothes. I know some people say, it's better if you do. You do you when it comes to clothes, but just make sure you change out of your pajamas. I'll say that. Do your morning routine, whatever it is, and then you start working. Do not keep your notifications on. And to take it one step further, ideally, if you can have a separate phone for your work email. So by no means do you have any work emails popping up on your personal phone. It will just make life a lot easier for you. So the morning time is your time. And when the time comes on your schedule, that's when you start working, because you're scheduled to start working. Now, a lot of people think if you work from home, there's a huge chance that you're going to get lazy. And yes, it is easy to get distracted. You can watch like Netflix all day, and that's cool. There's a lot of things that you can get distracted with, but what a lot of people don't talk about is the danger of overworking. And the reasons that you can easily overwork are if you have your work set up everywhere. So if you bring your laptop to the dining room or on the couch or in the bedroom, your work becomes everywhere. It's always on your mind when you're in your house. That's the first reason. The second reason that you could be overworking is if you are reactive. So if you have your notifications or your business email on your phone, on your personal phone, or if you carry around your business phone all day long, and you're getting those emails and you're reacting to them, or you're replying to them right away, whether or not they're urgent. And let's just say, for the sake of this video, that they're all urgent emails, but you're replying to them right away, all the time. That means you technically have never left the office. So if you think about it, if you had a 9-to-5 job, would you be doing that? You need to treat working at home similar to how you treat a 9-to-5 job, except that you need to be much smarter about it. The third tip I have for you is if you have kids. How do you work from home if you have kids, especially young kids? And especially at this time when there's no schools and we're kind of stuck at home right now. I have young kids, and this is my biggest challenge, but there's hope. There's a few things you can do to become more productive even when you're working at home and even when you have young kids around. Now, the biggest challenge with specifically young children, let's say under 3 years old, they are by themselves a full-time job. So if you plan on working during the day when they're awake, you need to have help. Either your husband or wife or partner. If that's not an option, then you need to have somebody, a nanny preferably, or a family member, come and help take care of the kids so you can work during those periods that you have blocked out in your schedule for working. And this is where, again, the schedule is so important. You need to have that schedule, that blocked out time of working, and you need to have that blocked out time of spending time with your kids. Do not make the mistake of trying to work and watch your kids simultaneously. There's a saying, stupid people make the same mistakes over and over. Smart people learn from their own mistakes, but wise people learn from other people's mistakes. So be wise and learn from my mistake. Do not try to work and watch your kids at the same time. If you do that, I'm going to tell you right now what's going to end up happening. And if you've already tried this, just comment below. Two things are going to happen if you try this. The first thing that's going to happen is you're not going to get any work done. And you're going to get really frustrated about that. And the second thing that's going to happen is your kids are not going to get your full attention, and you'll probably not feel so great about that. So you'll be doing two things really, really badly. The other way to get productive when you have kids and you're working from home is to wake up 2 hours before they wake up. This way you can do your morning routine and you can get work done before they wake up, and then you can spend some time with them in the morning before you start working again. Since I've been doing it, it's completely changed my productivity. It's taken it to another level where not only am I getting stuff done before they wake up, but I'm actually happier and more relaxed because I've gotten stuff done before they've even woken up. The other thing you can do is you can work after they go to sleep. Now, this is not going to work for everybody depending on your family situation, but if you need to get things done, and again, you don't want to confuse your children's time with business time, then this might be something that you have to do. For example, I'm recording this video at 10 o'clock at night because if I was going to record this during the day, even if I closed the door to my office, at certain times in the video, you would hear one of my sons screaming or playing. And it just doesn't work. So you gotta work around it. You gotta be smart about it. The fourth tip to stay productive when you're working at home is make a list of your top 3 priorities for the following day. So every day when you wake up or when you start working, you're gonna look at that list of top 3 priorities. If you watch Mel Robbins' videos, she's very good. She actually writes down her top 3 things that she needs to accomplish that day, and she puts it on a sticky pad on the back of her phone because you always have your phone in your hand. But what this does for you, if you're working from home, this makes sure that you are focused on those top 3 things. And these 3 things should really be something that will move your business in a major direction or will make you the most money. And the reason that you want to do this is because during the day, we all have emails and phone calls and things that come into us that are urgent, but maybe they're not top priority. But depending on how much urgency that person puts on that request, we might feel the need to stop everything else that we're doing and respond. And that's not productive. Because if you don't know what your top priorities are, you could actually spend your entire day just reacting to other people's requests. So that's where it comes in. Turn off your notifications. Don't look at your business email if it's not in one of those designated work blocks that you've scheduled. And when you are working, make sure you have no distractions and you've and you're focusing on your top 3 priorities. Get those done, and then you can address anybody else's request that you think is actually important. Not just urgent, but important. There is a big, big difference. Comment below, let me know which of the tips you think is gonna help you the most. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that now so you don't miss another video. I upload videos every week. And share this video with somebody that you know that's working at home now or has been working at home and could use any of the tips that were mentioned. See you next time. Oh, check out these videos.